So this is the first tool that we actually built and formalized. This is our we call it local authority software as a service, but this is essentially the tool that we have for municipalities and regions. So again, put yourself in the shoes of I'm a municipality or a regional authority. Textile collection needs to improve, but it's really difficult to pinpoint where are the issues that we're experiencing and what solutions might work. One of the reasons this is difficult to do is because this is also a multi-stakeholder process. You have a collector, a sorter, the public authority, and everybody needs the same version of truth. So what we do is we take data from, for example, official statistics, official national reports and so forth. And then we also get data from collectors and sorters to put together this overview for everybody to align around. And I'm going to just show you a couple of personally my favorite features, but a couple of the most important things we do. You can see some of these key performance indicators that help kind of give an overarching viewpoint of how things are functioning. You can see month by month, as long as the data is available in this way, you can see trends in collection performance. All of these little windows you can click and expand. You can roll over to get more information. And what I'm showing you now is the public authority view. So you can see all of the details, all the fine details. But what we can also offer is for collectors, for sorters, views that are limited to what they're allowed to see. So for example, if you have 3 collectors functioning in a specific region, they probably shouldn't see exact collection points and exact quantities of their competitors, but maybe they need to see some of these aggregated volumes and so forth. So very, very flexible tool that we have. You can also look at how textiles are being collected. So whether it's from a container network or reuse rooms, curbside collection, it doesn't really matter. And we have a couple of levels of this. So if you click in to the collection container network, you can see this example has a lot of different types of collection containers, even above ground, below ground, some that we just don't know, the data supplier doesn't know, etc. So a lot you can do with those visuals. This one is specifically is my favorite. I love the map. So when you click in to this little map in the upper right-hand corner, you get all kinds of interesting detail. In some cases, and specifically for all the Dutch municipalities, you can see population density. If these statistics are available somewhere, then we can load them in, even if you're not in the Netherlands, by the way. We've done that in some other regions. So you can see an overlay of population density and collection points and how each of these collection points is performing. So you can start to get a sense as a municipality, but also as a collector or a sorter, is the network, are we serving the highest population dense areas? How are those collection points performing? If you move a collection point, then over time you can see how the performance changes as well. So it gives this overarching perspective on what's the infrastructure doing. If I make an intervention, then what's happening? So this is these are the highlights of the collection overview. Then we also look at the flows of those materials themselves. And what we can see, this is based on data from sorters, we can see all of these different streams about where these materials actually go from the sorting facility. What you can see here is based on the Dutch EPR targets, to some degree, Dutch EPR targets and how those outbound streams are reported. But to some degree, these are customizable in terms of, well, what sort of outflows do you want to see? These are also, we love a good sand key on your team, and these sand keys you can move around and say click, roll over, and see the different perspectives that are more useful for you and your team. And then the last thing I'll show you here, lots more that's available, but the last thing I'll show you on the municipality side is the targets. So again, we've set these to the Dutch EPR targets, which is why you see prepared for reuse and recycling, total reuse, et cetera, et cetera. We've added collection because to us, that's always a critically important thing to track. But again, to some degree, these are customizable. So if the Dutch EPR targets, which is our default, if this isn't really so applicable to you, then if the data exists and there's a credible methodology to calculate a target, we can certainly do that as well. So we display them in a number of different ways, and I'll just do a quick roll through so you can see the different ways it's possible to track these targets. You can switch units on a lot of these things, so you can look at kilos per person, hard kilos, percentage against a specific target. And then, as Georgia mentioned, everything is exportable, so you can also take it out of the system.